In this lesson on neural filters, we're going to talk about restoring old photos and using the neural filters to do that. Now, many of you have probably already seen how we can work with some of our brush tools for spot healing and patch healing, and even some of our clone stamp and all that stuff. This is going to save you some time, not just on removing scratches and such, but also working with color balance if you might be working with levels and curves. So it's going to do quite a bit for you. Now, is it a time saver? That's really up to you, because maybe you're doing something else as the neural filters are kind of doing its work in the background. You're, making some coffee or something like that, or you're working on a different project, but it can take a bit of time, and it does take a little bit of nuance and sort of nudging to get it to what you want it to be ultimately. Okay, so just keeping that in mind, I won't show you all of my kind of watching the paint dry stuff, but let's just go ahead and see what we can do. We're going to go over here to filter. We're going to go here to neural filter. And we're going to see that the neural filters are going to show up over here on the right hand side. And once again, you may have to download all the technology. And once again, this stuff may be happening up in the cloud. And that may change at some point. We're going to have it on your computer. And also may change at some point where they're going to give you a number of different options to choose from, because in case you don't like one versus the other, just like they do with their generative AI, which would be really nice. Maybe you want to let them know in your feedback. All right. So over here down below, you have this photo restoration, and I'm going to turn that on. And you see immediately, as soon as I turn it on, it starts to process. It starts to do what it thinks you want to do, right? So we don't really ask it for anything at this point. We haven't said anything about enhancing the face. We haven't said anything about scratch reduction, anything like that. But I like to wait to do this because I don't even know if it's listening to me as it's doing this thing. So sometimes it's just kind of a waste. So let's just hang tight, wait. This could take a few minutes, and I will pause the video, come back, and we'll see what kind of changes it's made, and then we'll go ahead and continue to see what we can do with other changes to improve this. And we're back. Well, truth be told, that took about 4 minutes to process. And for you, hey, you know what? That's a good use of time because you were out milking the cows or, harvesting the crops, whatever you're doing. And not too bad, right? You can see, again, let's do before and after. So we can see, show the original. So it actually made it a lot more crisp. So that's a nice improvement. Next thing you might want to do is the scratch reduction. So I'm just going to do these one at a time. So I'm going to bring this really kind of up pretty high. And once again, this is going to start to do some processing. It may take about the same amount of time as the last process. Hard to really say, but it is doing some magic, so we have to be very patient. So I'll pause the video and we'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, now it has finished processing, and truth be told, that did take about 7 or 8 minutes. So just know if it's taking a while, you are not alone. And let's take a look at the comparison, and we can see that there are a lot of scratches it removed. So pretty awesome, right? So there's a few things I might want to get rid of and do everything, but I'm pretty happy with this. And I might want to do stuff on my own too, because I know how to deal with some of my, my healing brush tools and all that stuff to maybe kind of do things manually. So in this case, I'm not really too concerned about doing anything on the smart filter. I'm going to do it on, I could do it on the current layer and just override it, right? Or a new layer that's going to be on top of it. Let's just go ahead and just say new layer. And I'm going to go ahead and just say okay. And you'll see that it comes out again, and then if we look at what's happening underneath it, there's the original, and then here's this one. Now, I love this, right? This is fun. This is a great start, and then I would maybe come into here, and then you know what? Let's actually clean some of this stuff up. Maybe I can probably get rid of some of this blur, and I can do all kinds of different things, maybe with my spot healing brush, and I can now just start messing with this, right? I now own this, right? So it's going to see this as some kind of a blemish. I can very, very easily do this and doing it manually. Okay, so let's just go ahead and rub that out. Okay, and then I can just come in and do whatever I need to do. Maybe you're going to do some clone stamp options on here. So all kinds of, if I want to get rid of that guy, I can then do this stuff manually. No problem at all. Okay, making sure that maybe you want to sample all layers just to be safe. Make sure it's nice and clean. There we go. All right, so this is a really, really nice start. Again, looking at where we started with and now where we're at. And you can see how it actually really brings out a lot of texture to this. And we can always do it after the fact as well, go and make some changes to it. It just may involve a little bit of waiting. Okay, I didn't get into some of those adjustments underneath it. I feel like this is going to be just enough for you because it does take some time and we have to be patient. Hopefully in a couple of years we're telling a different story and we're going to see it's just a couple of clicks and then bam, it just does it for us. But still pretty awesome nonetheless, and I'm very grateful for everything that Photoshop has done to make this happen for us. So thank you, Adobe, and we'll see you in the next lesson. So good work, everybody. Congratulations, and we'll see you on the other side with the next series of topics.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To see the full course that this video came from, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.